let's go for a ride. Welcome back, guys. On today's vlog, we're just doing a leisure ride around West Covina area, maybe Baldwin Park, maybe El Monte, and then probably Azusa for Santa Fe Dam. As the title describes, I'm obviously on my Rumble Air e-bike using Ariel Rider components. Finally got it back up together. This thing tops out at about 31, 32 miles per hour, as you can see. I have not been able to really test out the range on this guy. First time that I'm probably going to ride more than 10 miles or so. I've only driven this bike around my block because it's a bulky bike. It's really big and somewhat heavy. I don't have a scale to weigh it, but I would say it's about 85 to 95 pounds. Cruising around, doing some more tests, really. Now that it's December 2022, I'm realizing that the e-bike sales, the e-bike community, I think it's kind of like slowing down now, Let's just say in 2020, I used to bike every day, every other day, because, the world was shut down, there was nothing to do. But now it's like everything's kind of going back, everything's pretty much back to normal already. You don't really have to wear masks anymore. Movies are open, gyms are open, people are biking less again. I think at least that's my observation, or at least that's how it is for me. Comment below if you feel the same way. I think bike sales are down. Onyx had like $1,000 off on their e-bikes. That's almost, that's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous amount of discount there, regardless how much the bike is. Before, it was really easy to sell a second-hand bike on, Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. Now it feels like it's the opposite. I feel like there's a plethora of e-bike models now, so it seems harder, like the demand and supply feels a little bit different. Because there's so much more other activities that they can do now, as I feel like hardly anyone's biking again. It's not as big as it was in 2020, I think is what I'm trying to say. I used to go to group rides like once, twice a week, and then now there's hardly any events. Now that the world is back on track, you can see that there's less group ride events. But I still try to go on my own. I like to mountain bike, as you can tell from my channel. I need to put my gloves on. I'm getting cold. We are somewhat exploring today. Got my signals on this guy. I really recommend these Cycle Wing signal lights. They're visible, in the front and in the rear, and you don't have to do any kind of soldering or wiring. So these are my go-to signals. It's like about $30 to $40 on Amazon. Cycle Wing lights. I've been using them for 2 years now. And you probably have to change the battery every 6 months, depending on how often you use it. Let's keep rolling here. It's nice to be behind a slow car. I can't believe Google will take me in a 40 mile per hour speed limit road here. This is supposed to be bike-friendly street. Sometimes Google will take you to some crazy streets. via bike directions. I really hope I don't get stuck today. Again, I haven't really tested this setup of how far I could go, but I did charge it. I am running dual batteries. I do have a 48 volt 20 amp and a 52 volt 20 amp. So I'm thinking this bike should go about at least 40 miles in range, but I've never tested it. I don't really ride that long often. But there's a lot of max throttling on this ride today. Peck Road Water Conservation Park. Haven't been here in a while. We typically just drive by it from the other side to go all the way to Whittier in the bike lanes, but I haven't really entered it from this way. It's a nice area. It's part of the Emerald Necklace loop trail that they have going on here. But yeah, this is one of the bikes that I don't really see myself taking in my SUV because it's so lengthy and bulky and also heavy. I pretty much would have to my scooter motor ramp just to load this puppy up. It's a mullet style, has moto wheels in the front, and it has the fat Ariel Rider wheels in the rear, which is 20x4, some Shinko tires, 3x16. As soon as I put on these tires, I immediately lost like 3-4 miles per hour top speed, but at least they're more durable on the pavement use. So they're heavier, fatter, thicker, and I guess more durable, so hopefully I don't get a flat. Hopefully. I placed a single gear on this thing instead of the gears. Type of bike is not really made for pedaling, so a single gear works just fine. The pedal assist works just the way an Ariel Rider would. There's an FBC combiner inside, so there's dual batteries. One is right here, the 48 volt 20 amp from Air Rumble themselves, and this is something I got from eBay, 52 volt 20 amp. D&M Volcano racing shocks from Jerry, who I got the frame from. Got these moto headlights from Amazon. It's about $40. That's the walkthrough of the bike. I added some horn and some lights right here, just for extra light at night, and at least I have a little bit of a horn. It's not the loudest, but that's what it sounds like. These suspensions are also from Amazon, very squishy. I forgot what it is. I think it's a 280 mil. Here we go. Let's pedal a little bit. Let's go look at the body of water here. I'm just pedaling here so that people don't give me a dirty look. It did just rain like a couple of days ago. I think that's why it's chilly. Look at that murky water. At least it didn't flood here. It didn't rain enough to where this flooded, because sometimes this flood right here. We've arrived at the airport. And the plane did just land not too long ago. I'm going to kick back and relax here, folks. Heading north now. Let's get it. Put on my gloves. It's pretty chilly. This bike is hard to maneuver, guys. No joke. This is why Jerry practically sold me this bike. It's so bulky, hard to maneuver. Turning ratio is not the best. And you're high off the ground. My suspensions help a bit. As soon as I get on it, it drops down like 2 inches. But, it's pretty high up the ground. I think we're going to take my meetup ride route, but in reverse. So let's get to Duarte first, and then Santa Fe Dam. The other thing about this bike too is like the geometry of it. It's like a aggressive seat position, like really low handlebars. And if I made it any higher, it wouldn't look as nice on the bike, just aesthetically. Like let's put a pause here just to show you what I mean. Alright, you see how this is the tire. Super 73s like sit already like right here. So this is about 34 inch higher, or 34 inch from the ground, in my opinion. And then your contact point to your seat to your handlebars, it's only like maybe, that much, maybe like 10 inch high. I don't know, it's just not as comfortable as other bikes, in my opinion. But everyone's different. The length also matters, right? Like how far the handlebars are to you from your seat. Coming up here, I think we've been driving around 10 miles now. And I'm still showing 4 bars. It only depletes with 2 bars when I'm punching it. And that's just the voltage sag, so that's understandable. Alright, looks like we arrived at Duarte. This is Aloysia Moore Park. This is typically where I start the group ride for 30 miles. Yeah, this tiny gate here. This will take us to Santa Fe Dam, but a little bit of off-roading is involved. Just a bit, just a dirt trail here. We're gonna just go around Santa Fe Dam a little bit, and then maybe head home. We'll see. Let's go up this hill, get a better view of the recreation area. So I think I've only gotten about 18 miles today, but I had been like a lot of street riding and a lot of pushing the motor. But as you can see, it goes back up to 3 bars now. Because so many companies are making e-bikes now. The more supply you have, the less the demand will be. I see a lot of discounts going on, promotional discounts by, companies like Onyx. I think Juice e-bikes had like $600 off. I think only Super 73 is the only company that's actually jacking price up in 2023. I get it, there's inflation, right? But I think at some point they have to assess the demand of bikes. So much other companies are like cheaper and have much more value than Super 73s these days for a lower price than what Super 73 bikes has to offer. But they're the only companies. If they can afford to raise prices, then hey, that's great as a company. But I don't know. If anything, I think in 2023, e-bike prices are going down, if anything. Just like housing market, right? A lot of people are uncertain right now. The economy is uncertain where the market's going. People are losing their jobs. House prices are going down. Interest rates are going up. So people aren't buying and people aren't selling either. So there's a little bit of a freeze there, etc. But yeah, I'm really surprised that Super 73 can jack up the prices in January 2023. E-biking was really fun when no one was driving in the main streets, but now that roads are open, there's so much traffic now, it's not as fun to e-bike on streets anymore. And there's so much laws against e-biking on even bike lanes, like people are making e-bikes, but the structure of cities, they're not really made for e-bikes just yet. So there's a little bit of a conflict there. One thing's for sure is that so many people are selling their Super 73s already. They're not being sold on the marketplace or the offer up. People want way too much money for their e-bikes. So many people are like lowballing the heck out of people. They're just on the market much longer than they would have been if they were being sold in 2020, when there was nothing else better to do. Comment below what you guys think is going to happen to the e-bike world. First of all, not a lot of cities have bike lanes. Second of all, if they do, they want to like restrict it. I don't know why, but if anything, they should restrict it to a miles per hour speed limit, because road cyclists, which are allowed practically everywhere, they go over 34 miles per hour, sometimes even faster than I am. Where do they draw the line of regulations? There's a lot of regulations happening with surrons now, and just e-bikes in general, that have a throttle. I don't get it all. Like, as technology advances, there should be regulations for technology that encourages e-bikers, and yet there's just regulations instead because people abuse them. Alright, we've gone about 21 miles already. I have 3 bars out of 5. I did flex this bike a lot, max throttle early on the ride. 21 miles and I still had 3 bars, so that's like 65%. So I'm kind of confident I could get this to 40 miles range, and at least if I wasn't going over 30 miles per hour, I could probably get it in the 50-mile range. Alright, I'm kind of flexing it. I'm still going around 30 miles per hour. The great thing about the FBC combiner is it draws power evenly from both battery, so it tries to make it stable. It depletes your battery at the same time versus one over the other. It's still punchy. I'm still getting the top speed here. Well, folks, I'm almost home, so that was in and out that we just passed, so that means I'm really close to home. That's going to be in today's somewhat of a range test. It gives me a good idea of the capabilities of this bike, this setup. I'm not the type that pushes it all the way down to zero. I don't want to ever be stranded. About 25 miles of max throttling, and I still have 3 bars out of 5. Maybe I could go 50 miles actually. But thank you for tuning in anyway. Like and subscribe for more content. Check out the useful links in the description below for additional discounts on an Ariel Rider, Super73, or a middrive bafang kit. Those are my top 3 recommendations. Stay tuned for more content. See you guys in the next ride. Peace.